Doug Warner went along with a group of volunteers who say not enough is being done. And Doug, you witnessed these efforts firsthand.
We did, Alex, over the weekend, and the high waters that we saw in these neighborhoods that we went in, just simply unbelievable. The smell, just unbearable. And the fact that it has been a full week since Katrina blew on shore, eventually knocking down those levee walls, the fact that people are still sitting on rooftops and in attics waiting to be rescued. But for one volunteer group of heroes, they say that's unacceptable.
People really don't understand the nature of this crisis. This is a catastrophe of literally biblical proportions.
However, this crisis wasn't 40 days and 40 nights in the making. And for one group of construction workers from the opposite side of the Bayou State, New Orleans' latest crisis has already taken way too long.
I say they're about 6 days too late. There could have been a lot of lives saved if they'd have been here sooner.
These guys brought more than just people out of the waters the first time they went in.
It was chaotic. I mean, there was people everywhere hollering for help.
They brought back images their hearts will never forget.
One lady that I pulled out the other day, it had to be 200 degrees in her attic.
So they've come back, and for our first time, we see what they saw. Town after town after town of destruction, looting, long lines, and people racing for high ground well after they knew she was coming.
It's sick, it's nauseating.
But this time around, the welcoming committee wasn't so welcoming at first. Just seconds after catching our first glimpse of a skyline which resembled a hazy morning over Baghdad, we refused entry into the flooded neighborhoods below. The detour beaches our caravan of crusaders downriver in the neighboring parish of St. Bernard.
They're sort of isolated by water. They have no contact with New Orleans at this time.
And by mere chance, we had stumbled across a police department which even needed help. They were desperately short on what this crew had been desperately guarding.
Protect our gold. Protect everybody's gold. To keep it with us until we're ready to distribute it.
A boat ride across the Mississippi later,
We still probably have 2,000 or 3,000 people in this parish that need to be evacuated.
we discovered the evacuated couldn't even be evacuated by land. And wouldn't you know it, these construction workers turned heroes were asked to turn back into construction workers to fix a washed out road. Their return to the Big Easy didn't have them saving lives by boat just yet, but reconnecting a police department and hundreds of evacuees to the outside world, even though the outside world looked out of this world.
This is not supposed to be happening here in the United States. This just looks like something you would see in a movie with all the helicopters flying around, and it just doesn't look normal.
And soon after assisting those folks there in St. Bernard Parish, the police department there, believe it or not, our caravan stumbled across a New Orleans police officer. You know, the communication they have with the department very thin at this point. We talked that man into escorting us into downtown New Orleans, right past the Superdome, coming up tonight at 10. We will take you into the waters of one of the most flooded neighborhoods there on the west side of New Orleans and show you more rescue efforts that take place. That's coming up tonight at 10 o'clock.